Hello guys, my name is Nine and welcome back to another video. Before we get any further into today's video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as it greatly helps everything that I'm doing here. And now at this point, you guys would most likely want to see the cost and the upkeep of the base. So as you see here, we do have a little bit more of a build cost than usual. However, upkeep is split very effectively, so we get a pretty cheap upkeep. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, join the Discord down below or leave a comment in the comment section below. Alright guys, I love you all. Alrighty guys, before we actually build the base, we need to go on a little tour, of course. So starting at one of our 6 externals, they're all going to be about the same price. They're about, give or take, 1.2k metal frags and 1.2k stone a day, and that's across 6 TCs. Then to show that our disconnectable works, this is twig, breaks this guy, and then replacing it in the desired grade. Awesome. Alright, entering in through our gatehouse. Very, very simple design, just windows on the outside, just to have good visibility, and then just some very basic peaks into compound, and you can add little boxes here to make these peaks even easier. Now coming forward into the base, we have a little bit of a breach peak here that also has rotation up to our roof / shooting floor, so I'll show that off now. Just a super simple peak onto where the compound is, so where they'd most likely breach, and then a ladder hatch with a ladder all the way to the top. And I'll show this off in this little sneak peek of our roof. Jumping back down here, we will go on to our starter unit. Now before we actually go there, there are some turrets here, double chain link fence meta type turrets. They take an extra HP to destroy, I believe, and overall they're very nice. Coming into here, we also have a double bedroom, and I do suggest, if you want tons of extra turrets, switch one of these lockers out for a battery and window that guy in. Alright, now entering into our starter door path. Just a simple airlock going this way, and then into our main starter. This starter has just a ton of storage. It's decently expensive to reach this TC, and the main TC upkeep is extraordinarily cheap. I've only HQ'd the parts of the base that really matter, so raid cost is still pretty darn good though. Going out of our starter, as there's nothing else to see in there, we'll take the other way from that little path. Up and to the right, we have a furnace jump up, where it is our semi-open core. Now before we actually go into there, let's grab a twig triangle and place it here. These are bunkers on every side. Now yes, the loot can be despawned for 3 rockets, however at that point there's not really a big worry on this regard. If you want more offline protection, I suggest adding vending machine bunkers on roof, but the main purpose of these for me, I do like to put my batteries in here as one on every single side of the base. It's just extremely difficult for raiders to hit them all, and especially if you add some in those gatehouse bedrooms as well, they're even better. Alright, going up through our open core, our semi-open core rather, we have a 5 box, and then we also have an 8 box loot room, coupled with one of the core peaks on this guy. And just the same thing around, our tier 3 in the middle, a research table, all very simple, cost effective, and all partitioned through garage doors. This base gets really expensive when you have a lot of them. Next level is our core retakes, and then just some bedrooms. So these retakes are beautiful. They give every angle that's really needed, and I just absolutely love them. And then also, can't not have a bedroom. There's also space throughout here to put like lockers on these walls and all this extra stuff, but it's all personal preference. Now going to any one of our 3 sides, this will be our wide gap. I would kind of call this a mountain roof starting off here, but it's my own, like, it might be my own little take on it. I just found these peaks to be absolutely beautiful. So right here is a beautiful little peak into our compound on these side corners here that is created. And then these peaks are absolutely beautiful. So this peak watches just directly into this part of the compound, and you're blocked off from like a raid base from far. And then this side you have some far peaks, more far peaks, just all the peaks in here are beautiful. You also have a set of roof peaks, low wall here, and that embrasure. Now on the other side, it's just a door. So you have 3 ways up to roof from there. And now if you keep coming to here, we have more mountain type style roof peaks, and these things are just absolutely beautiful. I love these peaks. They just look amazing. And then coming over to this other section where we have that rotation from our compound, see where this is where this leads, and this ladder hatch also creates some pretty nice angles into our compound. Then these triangle roofs also give beautiful angles. Yet again, more just good angles, and using this as the wide gap, you're entirely blocked off from a raid base this way, and these peaks you just have the freest angles in the compound. It's beautiful. And then also up here we have a little bedroom, also another spot to hide batteries if you really want. Now I'll fly up a little bit here. We do add extra beds on the roof just in case they're ever needed. I like to do this just as a kind of last chance respawn. It's always good to do this. And I also just have our windmills up here. And that is about it. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment in the comment section below. I respond to every comment that you guys may have. And make sure to join my Discord if you want to talk to me further on either this design or a design for the future. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get into an actual build. Alright guys, I know a lot of people like to see the footprint beforehand, so pretty simple. This is our starter unit. Above these squares are our semi-open core loot rooms. These are our wide-gapped bunkers, so this right here is the bunker type module. The wood is there just as reconnects and to kind of make it all look nicer. And then Gatehouse would be the bedroom, our disconnectables, and yeah, that's about it. So just to let you guys know a little bit ahead of time, I do like to use a little bit of symmetry and stuff like that when building. So just a little bit of a warning. But starting off here, I want to start with a 2 triangle section like this. And I'm just going to wall it in like this. Double door will suffice. Placing a TC like this. You might be able to fit in a small furnace if you do it proper. Now you can either single door this, or it's kind of up to you, as sometimes the single door gets a little wonky. Windowing this right here can be even easier. Coming out to the next section, we'll on this end. This will be our loot room, another loot room. This will be our airlock, and then these 2 are furnace pods. So I like to just wall in this entire section right away, as it's pretty easy to build. Now I like to do doors through this section to give us a door path, and then our airlock. Glass window works here. If you don't have one, wood will suffice for now. And just a very simple airlock. Now adding shelves into this entire section. I like to do this out of twigs so I can get the shelf all the way in here. I'll remove this door for now. Stoning that guy like that. Now deployable time. Very simple. I know you can get a triangle frame in there, however, I just like to throw an embrasure on and call it a day, as it's much less stress inducing. This is where tier 2 will go, tier 3 will be in our semi-open core. Not ideal. Apologies about this, guys. There you go. Bags can go through this slot, and garage doors will go on simply every spot, whenever you get access to them. The first things you're going to want to upgrade kind of before we go out and honeycomb is coming to the outside of this triangle where TC is. I like to just armor the entire thing from the outside, along with this compartment as well. This one's easier to reach, but it's always a good habit to do. And then sheet metaling the entire top in this section like this. This right here is going to make you a very nice and expensive raid just by doing this. And it's okay to leave the stuff stone for now. Coming back inside, do whatever kind of loot rooms you want. I'll just be showing 4-box, very easy placements real quick, as to not bore you. And then I like to throw my boxes like this, as it makes TC still easy to access. And in this case, we'll be using an embrasure. Awesome. Now this side has a triangle, so we're going to need to mirror this on every side real quick by adding a honeycombed triangle in. Now at this point we do need to start off with a little bit of symmetry. So to start this, I'm going to put on 3-sided symmetry, and what that means is when I place something like this foundation here and this foundation here, it's going to make it on every side. And I'll be sure to go as slow as possible to give you guys all the time you need. So starting with these 3 foundations like this, we're simply going to build these guys in like this. This one doesn't need to be honeycombed yet, as it's kind of a waste of resources at this point. And now we'll make it 1 floor higher. Now, I like to come to the outside here. The reason I don't like to add the honeycomb right away is I like to add this shelf in like this. And now if you were to drop in vanilla and just spam down, just spam left click as you fall, usually is pretty easy. Worst case, I suggest getting like a ladder or something, or you can do a little jump trick like this and it'll eventually work. Otherwise, just like how I did there. And now these don't have to be sheet metal, but for looks, sheet metal looks the best. Placing lowered ramps like this, triangles off these sections, placing shelves in here. And now one side we're going to choose to wall or cap off, while the other side will get a floor frame and a ramp. Now we can also put this guy here and seal off everything but the central portion. I'm also going to come outside and break this twig as it's not needed. Now I'm going to toggle symmetry off as this is a non-symmetrical part. All we're going to do here is make our jump up to the next level. And I like to make this 2 stories right away, as that way I can add a door on top here. Now I'm going to use garage door, but in this case you'll most likely use a double door. Awesome. And in every single spot here, I'm going to retoggle symmetry. Just put frames, and right now at this point you don't really need to put tons of doors up, but just to kind of give yourself where people can't just hide in here, throw 1 double door on each side like this and you'll be good. And another thing to mention is, as early as possible, I do like to sheet metal these 2 things like this, along with this roof, and just kind of all these roofs and this frame. Just a good habit I like to get into. Now the next thing we're going to be doing is building off our bunkers. So they're wide gap bunkers, so starting in twig, we'll be doing our externals for these. We're going to be going 3 triangles out, 3 squares out, and coming back. Now breaking all these guys. This is the footprint we'll be left with. Now don't stone this or do anything yet, as what we want to actually do is break this triangle and a triangle off the main base right here. Stoning this guy up, this will be our jump up to our open core. And we'll put a furnace there to symbolize that. Now what I'll do is I'll build a square, triangle square, triangle square. I like to sheet metal these whenever I can. Adding what would be our little gatehouse slash bedroom, and like this. Now a twig will make our disconnectable. I like to make this wood just so it's always there. And this guy has sheet metal. Make sure to use half walls here for the disconnectable. I know some people like doing windows in these guys, but I prefer the 2 garage door method, as you don't have to pull windows off for every individual clan member that would log online. Breaking this twig here and placing this stuff. Now for this to technically be a 8 rocket disconnectable, you gotta at least sheet metal this wall. And I'm leaving this open for now, just for, doesn't really matter. Alright. Coming back here, we're gonna go 4 squares out. This will be our other externals. And what we will do, simply come back like that. And now I like to wood these guys, as they won't matter too much, and then sheet metal these 3. Along with this guy. And we can do these guys. And now same overall concepts, except this one is a gatehouse full time. Switching over to twig. And apologies if I'm going too fast at any point in the video. Feel free to slow it down and rewatch. I do not mind. And same thing with this. To technically make that 8 rockets, you need to sheet metal those 2. Personally, I prefer just glass windows on these. Better visibility. Thank you, Dust Rust. Okay, so the next thing that I like to do is I like to build half walls on top of these to section off where our turrets are going to go. On top of these, we're going to be placing 2 frames. Our turrets will go in these pods, and kind of be aware that these turrets do become a little annoying to reach if you don't know how to place them fully. But let's place them like this. And we chainmail. You can still reach and access the turret, just to show it off. Okay? Now what I like to do is show off, these were the wooded foundations, like this. I just like to leave these as their reconnects basically. But what I'll do is I'll add a half wall here, and then a frame. It can be stone or sheet metal, and those guys like that. Well, now we'll add our metal barricades in a second, but first I want to show the compound kind of guide. So when building the compound, make sure you're on the ground. Look left and right, and just kind of make sure there's no gap on the right. And this one, just make it look like it's the equal distance of this wall as it would be to this. So make the gap look like the size of a wall. And usually, this one's pretty darn easy. You get it like that. And this one, you just kind of like canter a little bit off to the right is what I would say. And pretty darn easy. Now the metal barricades for this gatehouse is a little wonky, so I do apologize. We'll place this guy in here. You can do these after, but I suggest placing these frames before you do the barricades, at least. And then this guy is going to go like this. I'm not the best metal barricade placer, but it will get the job done. And now you can either do 2 or you could do 3 in this section. I prefer 3 in these sections, as I've had grubs get in way easier with 2 if you misplace just a little bit. Did not mean to destroy that. Making sure to add some doors. Compound looks pretty darn good. Pretty good. Okay. Building up the next level of the main base now. Just walling these guys in. Very simple. And then I like to come over here and build this guy all the way up. Next part here we're going to do is our bunkers. So pretty simply put, windows here, frame or a single door frame, cap this guy off, go to the next level, sheet metal all the way through, sheet metal wall off of that frame down here, and then to open it, place twig. Now to ensure that the bunker basically fully works, I like to stand on top of the bunker right now and add these frames like this. This just kind of ensures that nothing will break. And I'll also come in here and cap this entire section in. Now make sure to add your embrasures and doors. I'll do very basic stuff here. But we'll put a garage door leading towards open core here, and yet another one there. And towards starter unit, on the one side that will do this, put more garage doors like through here and do it like this. But for now, I won't show that in this section, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now for some people, I like to add my roof triangle here, just to kind of block sight lines. And now up on this section, I'm going to be adding a stone window that is glass, and I will be adding in this guy. It's a little cap off before roof. And this next level is going to be a roof, so let's keep building that up. So I have to do these out of sheet metal. Just kind of follow along because it does get a little wonky. You build these guys too high before adding a frame. And now stand here to make it easy. Half walls around these guys. Windows. I suggest placing these embrasures first, as they get this one gets hard to place once you place the ramp. If you can, that is. If you can't, you can do it from the outside. Like this. 2 frames in here just to add stability to this little section. Now capping these 2 guys off. Now pick one side. One side will have either a single doorway or a double doorway. It doesn't really matter. I prefer single doorway, as some people struggle with getting around the base then, which is fun for raiders. But you can do either or, and then I like to do a low wall on the other one. Now coming off of this guy down here, we will build this guy 2 high before doing the same kind of thing we did before. Half walls. You can also turn this into a bedroom. You can entirely just ignore this roof piece and do something like, heck, this is kind of cool. But I prefer just the peaks going out. Personal preference yet again, you could 100% turn this into a bedroom. And now from the inside, you're going to want to place 2 roof triangles like this. I place it backwards. And sometimes it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, let me, here. Boom, boom. Awesome. And now I just remembered, if you are on console and having trouble placing this, the easiest way to do it is underneath like this. Just thought I should mention that. And then to show off the bunkers real quick, because I almost forgot how to set these up. Simply add a shelf in here, 2 garage doors worth of protection. I then slap my battery back in this corner. Takes a second sometimes, and then these boxes like this. You can fit small boxes in here. I just prefer 2 larges called a day. And those are good. Now this section is looking pretty good. And what we will do is now come to this section on the compound. So building this one like this, adding embrasures, a roof triangle. Now this is a little bit of a weird kind of place, so follow me here on this. We're gonna build these guys up because this is just the normal section that will turn into a shoot floor type beat like that. But this, to get this wall kind of floating here, what you do at twig is you place a triangle square and then place these walls like this, and it won't fall because it has stability because of the walls around it. But this is really just meant as a kind of barrier in between, if that makes sense. And then windows, so 1 wall, windows, get our embrasures in here, our ladder hatch frame and our ladder hatch. Perfect. And then what we will do, half walls in these guys, cap this off. I prefer double door here. And then 2 windows, triangles here. Cap this guy off like this. You can have 2 entrances into this bedroom. I prefer 1 though. And I like to glass window these guys all. I like this embrasure facing inwards and these ones facing out. Adding these little triangles give a little bit of a head glitch when peeking towards this way. Now making the bedroom in here, very, very easy. I prefer just 1 bed, 1 box, as you can't fit a locker with the way the jump up kind of orients. And now this is personal preference, but I like to add extra bed spots up here. And then a windmill right above it. And like I've said before, these are 100% just like totally extra respawns if you need them. Now the best spot for your turrets is you only actually need 3 on this entire roof to be effective. These spots are beautiful. You only need 3 to cover the entire roof, which is absolutely awesome. And now to finish off the central portion that we haven't done, apologies, I had symmetry on. You just simply wall her in. And then I like to put vending machines. Here, I'll show this off here. Didn't show this in the tour or anything like that, but I like vending machines right here. And this will actually act as my shop. They're not bunkers or anything, but you can just glass one of them off, call it a day, and you'll be good. And then if you do have an armored door, I actually really do suggest throwing it up on roof. Like that. Alright, let's continue with placements of stuff. So in this core right here, excuse me here, I just place double doors, going outwards like this, inwards like this, rather. And then this will become a bedroom. And then I like to garage door these off. You can double door these too, but personal preference. Coming into open core. Like I've said before, just garage door spam. Frame disappeared, but we got it now. Now for this open core, sheet metal stuff as soon as you kind of can. And then I'll show this box placement. Now sometimes box placement gets a little wonky as this roof piece kind of gets weird. So just be aware of that. but placing this as far back and to the left, far back, to the right. Like that. Same with this guy, or rather not this guy. This guy's supposed to be. Ooh, this roof piece deleted itself. Ignore that. I think I pushed the wrong button. Apologies, guys. Did not mean to do that. Sometimes the entire sanctuary just bugs it out then. Oh, this door is doing it. Yep, there we go, of course. Welcome to the server. Welcome to my game lagging. It's okay, boys. You'll just get to see me place the boxes again real quick. No biggie. And then if you're having wonky box placement, break that twig. And sometimes if you mess up the angle just a little bit, it'll mess with you. So try to be safe when it comes to that. Like this one's just a little bit off angle, I think. See, of course. Game loves to mess with me. I never have these issues when building by myself, and that I love. Alright, so at this point, basically everything is pretty much done, except for a few more placements of just how I suggest to do beds. I like extra respawns right here. They're totally nice. If I sheet metal these, you should be able to get a bed in here if you place this box against the wall. Like that. And then you have beautiful peaks up to here. You've added your doors and all this fun stuff. The base is looking absolutely stunning from the outside. Something cool I actually like to do, add your embrasures, oops, wrong one, down here. And then the last thing to really do is upgrades, which is upgrade these walls like this. The inside, on this side, just all the way up on both sides. And on the interior, just upgrade these guys. These ones are really hard to reach down here. But if you pick up like one box there, you able to get these guys. And same up from these bedrooms up here. Basically just upgrading everything in that square. Garage doors there. And then sheet metaling this entire kind of section in the middle. And then if you guys are absolutely loaded, as I know I didn't use much HQM at all in this base, what I suggest doing is HQMing these 3 tiles, sheet metaling these 3 tiles, and then HQMing these tiles, because they're going to know the bunkers are there anyways if they watched this video. So remember, it's always a good idea to HQM those if you are absolutely loaded, and that's kind of the reason I didn't use any HQM on anywhere else on the base really. So just good idea, okay guys? And I forgot the embrasure there, but that's no big deal. Alright. Oh. And of course, do not forget to add your compound bedrooms. Almost slipped my mind. Alright. That about does it for the entirety of the base build. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, either leave a comment in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. Or join the Discord. Link is in the description as always. So I'm more than happy to talk to you guys there and or in the comment section. So without further ado guys, I love you all and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys.